We will call the March 1st, 2022 meeting of the Elevator and Amusement Device Safety Board to order. Introductions and announcements. Mr. Harrod.
Tom Harrod, Assistant Commissioner, WRC.
James Roy.
James Roy Pope, board member.
Ms. Murphy.
Jennifer Murphy, Board Secretary.
Mr. Laporte.
Nick Laporte, board member.
Mr. Hale.
Can't hear you.
David Hale, board member.
Mr. McPherson.
Hey, Mike McPherson, Chief Elevator Inspector.
Ms. Stiefenbach.
Jamie Diefenbach, Executive Admin Assistant, WRC.
Mr. Rader.
Mitch Rader, board member.
Mr. Hardy.
Mike Hardy, Amusement Device Unit Manager.
Ms. O'Connor.
Kelly O'Connor, board member.
Mr. Moore.
Larry Moore, board member.
Ms. George.
Dan George, Zoom moderator, and with Stone and George court reporting.
Mr. Moore. You'll have to unmute, Lewis. Up in your right-hand corner, Lewis, you should be able to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
We've got you.
Lewis Moore, a board member.
Mr. Bailey.
Dan Bailey, legal counsel.
Ms. Belling
Cassandra Biling, Stone and George court reporting.
and Mr. Farmer.
Chris Farmer, TK Elevator.
All right. Moving right along, would make a motion or entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved. This is Mitch Rader.
Kelly O'Connor, second.
I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and identify. Okay, approval of the meeting minutes for the December 8th, 2021 meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion. James Roy Pope.
Kelly O'Connor, second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and identify, please. Moving right along to the elevator units report.
All righty.
Mr. McPherson.
Yes, sir. Mike McPherson, Chief Elevator Inspector. Give you a little stats and then a little update.
Can you hold on a minute, Mike? Nan, can you let me share the screen, please?
Yes. Okay, should be able to now.
All righty. We'll give you a little bit of stats, a little bit of reports, update, I should say. We got 15,875 total permitted conveyances across the state. We are still working hard to get our delinquents up. However, we are improving. We got a total of 625 across the state, which is 3.9%. And actually 13% of that is still under COVID protocol where we cannot access those quite yet. We have 468 new construction permits. Actually, new construction going on across the state. 45 that are operating, extra operating on temporary and construction use. We are operating with 29 inspectors, including, not including, but myself and also our Assistant Chief, Mr. Banks Steele. We were Do have a new inspector starting next Monday, so I will add 2. Like I said, the state of Tennessee still is growing. Nashville still is your busiest area. The area actually downtown where the Christmas bomb went off in 2020, they are really working hard and cleaning that up. We'll be happy to see Second Avenue back up and running. On the accidents and incidents, we're always proud to say that we don't have many of those. Like I said, we have a lot that happen, say at the busy places like Opryland Hotel or airport or bus station, to where luggage and other things may cause a tripping hazard, or that's mainly on an escalator or an elevator not quite leveling correctly. But those are type of incidents and accidents that we do have reported that aren't life threatening by no means. Our goal is always help and educate the riding public and to protect them and our customers of the state of Tennessee. And that would be my March elevator report.
Okay, any questions from the group? Okay, thank you, Mr. McPherson.
Yes.
And we'll move to the amusement device unit report.
Mike Hardy, State of Tennessee Amusement Device Unit Manager. And thanks to Jamie for presenting our slides today. Takes a little away from Mike for doing that. But anyway, the first slide that you see is our total operating permits that we've issued thus far this fiscal year. We're currently at 207. Last year, we ended at 333. And if you see our projection on the far right is at 317. I personally believe that we're going to surpass last year's number due to the activity that we're hearing and some of the companies that we believe are going to come in, traveling carnivals, things of that nature, that are going to operate more this year than they did during the last fiscal year. Next slide. New operating permits issued, we're at 40 currently. Last year, we issued 33 operating permits to new companies, first-time permits, and that projection goes to 61 for the end of this fiscal year. Devices inspected, which pretty much parallels our total number of companies that have obtained operating permits thus far. We have registered or had 1,722 devices inspected so far this year. That projection is 2,633, which closely resembles the numbers that we had in 2021. But again, I'm confident. I think we'll surpass those 2021 numbers. I think we'll have a busy last quarter of the fiscal year. Reportable accidents, we finished fiscal year 21 with 3, and right now we stand at 3 as well. The next slide gives a breakdown. I think this is a new slide that we've added to give basically a description. So in 2022, we had a kiddie ride, which was mainly an operator. It was not a mechanical error. It was mainly an operator error, but we deemed this as a reportable and allowed the company to give us their procedures and to discuss what they could, what kind of corrective actions they could put in place to keep this kind of incident from happening again. We had in a trampoline park as Ninja Course, we had a Sky Rider, which is actually a zip line coaster within the trampoline park. We had a patron that was coming into the landing area, and as she came into the landing area and the operators or attendants were catching her there as they normally do, part of the track fell from the ceiling. No one was injured here, but obviously we had to deem this as a reportable. That flaw in the track was corrected, and we issued a business resumption notice. The last accident that we had was involving a speed climb or a climbing pole where a patron's finger she had a ring on her finger, and that finger was degloved as she came down the pole there. So we issued cease and desist for that device. The device was completely gone over. Pinch points and those things of that nature were looked at individually. They were corrected, and along with a couple of some criteria that the company added, such as recommendation that no hand jewelry be worn while using the device, and signage of that nature. So we're equal to the number of reportables that we had in fiscal year 21. Hope we don't have any more, but we're monitoring, and it seems like the companies are most of the companies are aware of the requirements for accident reporting, and we handle those on a case-to-case basis. A couple of more things regarding the amusement device unit. We have beads, our new database software that's on the horizon. We're working with Jamie and a group there. I think we're next in line to convert our database software. I think it'll be much better once we get this in place, but it'll take some time as we go through that and get it where we need it to be. All members of the unit attended the NARSO Safety Forum in January of 22. Certifications that we had obtained previously were retained, and we are leaving after the meeting today. Dollywood undergoes their annual inspections this time of year, and we typically go over there and observe those inspections and finish up all the paperwork that is needed for a permit renewal for Dollywood. And that's really all I have right now, but I would be more than glad to try to answer any questions that you may have.
Mr. Hardy, this is Kelly O'Connor. I have a question for you, or perhaps Chairman Fox, and this has nothing to do with what you've just reported on, but out of curiosity's sake, is there any permitting process by anybody for water rides, like water parks, like Nashville Shores?
That may be a better question for Chairman Fox, because we do not regulate water parks. Wave pools are specifically exempt within the law, and we consider most of the water parks to fall under that umbrella.
I knew that it didn't fall under us. I was just curious if there was somebody else that fell under.
Mr. O'Connor, this is Robbie. There are no organizations that have inspection authority over those water rides. There's movement afoot to do that, but it has not come to pass yet, as we say.
So currently they're uninspected and unpermitted, and it's the Wild West.
Well, yes and no, they are unpermitted, but in most cases, your insurance company is going to have someone who comes to inspect those rides. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman,
Sir.
I just want to add to that if it's any type of a public pool type place, the Department of Health does, they don't inspect the rides, but they certainly make sure the water quality is where people can swim in it.
Right.
Yes, they do.
They do
Thanks,
have some.
Mr. Bailey.
Any other questions? Okay, moving. Good report, Mr. Hardy. Good report, Mr. McPherson. Like I did Mr. Hardy one time, he's got charts and graphs, Mr. McPherson, just in case you were wondering, with numbers on them.
I hear you.
Okay, going to old business. There is no old business. Under Article 8 or Item 8, no new business. We have open discussion. Mr. Harrod, is there anything we need to talk about, sir?
Mr. Chairman, I know of no items at this point for either amusement device or elevator, but I will throw it open to the unit managers for that. Mr. McPherson, do you have anything?
I really don't have anything at this time.
All right, Mr. Hardy?
No, sir, other than our pending Dollywood inspection observance and our beads database software that I mentioned earlier that we're going to tackle in the future.
Okay.
Okay. Anything from the board that we need to talk about?
Mr. Chairman, looks like we've had one other gentleman join us here. Mr. Vance,
Mr. Vance, Stephen Vance.
you introduce yourself and put your position in the chat box for us.
Yes, good morning. I'm Stephen Vance. I'm with CBRE JCPenney account, just setting in to kind of get updates on the elevator codes.
Okay, well, we're glad to have you, Mr. Vance. This is Robbie Fox. We're glad to have you, but we're just about ready to conclude,
Okay, well, that's fine.
just so you're aware. Okay, next item would be our scheduled board meetings for 2022. The next will be June the 7th, 2022, 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. The following one, September the 7th, 2022, 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And December the 6th, 2022, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So with all that being said, I would move for a motion to adjourn.
Kelly O'Connor, move to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And we have a second. Without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you all for a good meeting.